dribble.
The champ is here. I must be the greatest. The champ is here.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here.
I will not lose.
I'm a bad man. I shook up the world.
Yes, welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with we. My name is EJ, and I got my man.
Your mate.
Yes, sir. He is the DB of the show, and we're Black in Sports, giving a voice to the culture that won't shut up and dribble. Here, interviewing the best professionals in the game and in the boardroom. Hey, we're laughing at it all, covering all while providing a platform to be heard. So you know how we do it about this time. We have to welcome and bring in our guests in the proper way. So first, I want to say Happy Women's Day, Women's History Month to all my ladies out here. And we have another great show where we're going to highlight in this episode and discuss the journeys in business and her work in sports and events. This event maven has many talents. All right, she is the life of the party. Hell, she may have planned the party that you attended. So with that, with no further ado, we want to bring in the owner of DeSquared LV. Please clap it up for Sheryl Thornton-Burnham.
Hey everybody, What's going on?
All right. Hey, thank you so much for making time. I know you're busy. And you're so busy, you had to make some changes and run around, accepting awards and jumping on for us. So we really appreciate that. But hey, how we start our show all the time is we want to start with a shoot your shot moment. So shoot your shot moment is just really where you went for it all. It could have been, back in the day. It could have been current events, but just a time you shoot your shot. And let's cheers while I shoot my shot while you tell that story. Oh, look, cheers. There it is. All right, so give us that shoot your shot moment.
Well, my shoot my shot is something I should have done like in the past, current. What are we asking for? What are we doing?
Yeah, it's your shoot your shot moment. So it could have been any time in life. It could have been, in high school, in college, choosing the first career, choosing the second career. It's anything. You could have won or learned a lesson. But yes, give us any shoot your shot moment. Just a quick story.
I think my shoot your shot moment would have been me finishing college. I believe everything happens for a reason. Grew up in Los Angeles. My dad got sick my senior year of high school, and every little girl loves her daddy more than anything else. And I was prepared to go to Ohio State. I was supposed to be a Buckeye. And my father got lung cancer and died my senior year of high school after I graduated. And that changed the whole trajectory of my life because I was set to move. I couldn't move. I have my mom and my younger sister. So that changed a lot. But if I had to shoot my shot and do everything over again, if my dad were still here, I would have been a Buckeye.
Well, there it is. Well, hey, salute to Pops, man. May he rest in heaven.
Yeah, salute to
Thank
Pops.
Thank you.
Sure. Where did your love for sports start?
When I was in high school, I went to an all-girl private school in LA called St. Mary's Academy. If you were in LA, you heard of St. Mary's Academy. We're an all-girl private school, blue skirts, different color ties, red, blue, green, and gold. And my freshman year, I went to a football game for Sarah High School, and I just loved the electricity of the game. I wanted to be a part of it. So since at the time, girls couldn't participate in those kind of sports, times have changed, I became a cheerleader. So I cheered for Sarah for 3 years. I didn't cheer my senior year because I felt I was missing so much because if you're involved with Sarah, you couldn't be involved with any of the other boys' schools like Daniel Murphy, Verbum Day. And I'm like, nope, it's my senior year. It's all about me. But I will tell you, many of the guys who played for Sarah, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, went on to college and played professionally. So that's where my love of sports came into it. I cheered my friends along the way. And along the way, it kind of picked me up too.
I love it. And in addition to cheer, was there any other? You mentioned football, and there's a long history of football that we'll get into. But any other sports that you ventured to in that time period?
NBA basketball. When my friends played, went from high school, college, NBA. I loved baseball. So I'm a California girl. We had all the big sports teams. So What was not to like? What was not to be involved in? I mean, you want to be a part of everything. We're LA. We were part of Showtime with the Lakers. I mean, we did everything.
Yeah, so I wanted to touch on that part of the Laker history. I'm glad you mentioned that. The Lakers now compared to where the Lakers were in Showtime era, do you have affinity for either or is it all love all the way across?
After you pause to take a sip. Oh boy. Let's get it. We about to get the real to real.
I would tell you this, and I'm probably gonna get my hand slapped. People will go upside my head, but you know what? To me, nothing can compare to Showtime. Period. That was it. Are we gonna be real? I think that the players today could not compete with the players from yesterday. They have the accolades, they got the money, but to me, they don't have the heart and the grit. I'm sorry, they just don't have it. And that's in every sport. I think athletes today are spoiled as hell. I think, I see guys, I have a broken pinky toe or something. I can't play. Well, you got fucking Lyle Alzado playing with broken everything and ready to play and wasn't getting paid half the money. So I'm looking like you guys getting millions, not just in signing bonuses, but just to play and guaranteed money. And I remember the first player to hit $1 million was Marcus Allen. And we thought it was big shit back then that he got $1 million.
That part.
That's not even a signing bonus these days. So yes, I look back, football of old, 70s, 80s, beginning of the 90s, basketball, the same thing. It's changed, and I may get some hateration going on, but I'm just being real about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna hate, but everything changed a little bit. EJ, they call it sports science now. Is that they got a whole thing?
Whole category for it.
Low management.
Low management, and all these other theories that they come up. Yeah, the game has changed. We stamping that with you, shit. We ain't gonna act like the game has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because we talk about that in our live shows, and it comes up depending on what topics we're talking about. But there is some change, right? Like, so I definitely I think that there is talent, right? I just don't think the grit and the hunger is maybe what separates them from being that natural dog. Because maybe you're getting people that weren't as talented, right? Or didn't have. I mean, you got these kids training a different way than what all the science and nutritional things that they're training right now. So you make a great point. It's a different world. for real.
I would tell you this. I went to a friend of mine, big alumni of UCLA, right? At one point, he was all LA. All you heard in LA was his name. He was supposed to go and play for the Lakers. He got drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks. But I watched them train daily, offense, defense, how to do. Kids today, they play offense. I don't see them playing defense. And yeah, hey, I'm old school, but to me, you play to win, not just say and talk about it. You just do it. Let your actions speak for themselves. And sometimes I don't see the actions.
Well, I like this. And this is the appropriate question, right? So there's a lot of people that have statues out in front of she laughing already. Okay, what's the name of the arena there? And then should LeBron have a statue? So that's a two-part question. What's the name of the arena that the Lakers currently play in? And should LeBron have a statue out front?
Crypto Arena.
Okay. So you don't respect the new name. You said hell no. But he brought y'all a championship.
We had champions before he got there.
Okay. I am going to move it right along.
we were Showtime. And you know what? Just me that we can tell the truth. I think LeBron should have stayed in Cleveland.
Wow. All right.
I love my Lakers, but I don't like my Lakers right now.
All right.
And it's like, it's not a one-man team. It's a team. Like it says, no I in team. There should be no I in team. You didn't go around hearing Kareem and Magic and, you know, Norm Nixon and Byron Scott talking about me, me, me. It was always us. We in the era of the me, 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 and I don't like it.
Yes, I like it. Okay. So now you spent were you born in Inglewood, or did you spend time in Inglewood? Where did Inglewood
Born
come
and
up?
raised.
You're born and raised.
Yep.
So is Inglewood still up to no good?
It ain't gonna change.
All right, so
we got some new arenas now, but we ain't gonna
absolutely,
change.
but we ain't gonna change. All right, so real passion on this show, especially from my co-host MH. There was a popular movie that was based off of that city, man. Do you agree with how your city was portrayed in the movie The Wood? And did you call it The Wood? Or is that something that they made up for cinema and get us all feel good and touchy? Because I wanted to get your sentiments on The Wood, where you think that movie ranks and just how they portrayed you.
I say 50-50. You know, you got to add some stuff in there to make it likable, make it rememberable. We didn't call it The Wood. We call it Inglewood. Inglewood. You've right, there was Morningside right there. Big shout out again to Byron Scott. He went to Morningside High School. You know, it's just a lot that they do a lot to sell tickets. You know, there weren't shootings every night. You know, people weren't sleeping on the floor. It wasn't getting jumped in and out of gangs. I lived on 135th off of Crenshaw, between Imperial and 120th. There were two quote unquote gang affiliations. One was IVC, one was Watergate. My house was Switzerland. Anybody come to my house, it was cool. My mom and dad didn't play. You know, my mom and dad was Mississippi. And it's all about, you come here, there's no fighting, no guns, whatever. I will tell you, we had some of the biggest quote unquote gang members playing hopscotch in front of my house. We would literally play baseball and cars were the bases. I mean, this is what we grew up in. We didn't have to be in the house by certain standards before the lights went on, the street lights. I mean, we did, but we didn't because it wasn't safe. It was basically get your black ass in the house, you know, come get your homework done, get ready for school, iron your uniform, come have dinner with the family together. That's how I grew up. And I'm just shocked that, you know, that's all changed. My kids grew up that way. My youngest son is 26. You could not pay him to talk back to me.
Not today. not
today, not tomorrow, not next year. My oldest son is going to be 42 in July.
Absolutely.
I will tell you, the one day he talked back to me, I was about 8 months pregnant with his brother. And back then we didn't have cell phone, we had beepers. So my little boy had a beeper. I said, if I beep you or if I paid you, just call home, tell me where you are.
That's it.
If I hit 911, I don't care where you are, you get your ass home. Well, this particular day, I guess he was smelling himself. He didn't call me. He didn't come home. So, you know, mothers, we're going to worry. And I'm 8 months pregnant. I shouldn't be worrying. He walked in his house, or my house, with his friends laughing and giggling. Before he got past the porch, I slapped the shit out of him. Like, what the hell you did? His friends were like, back it up, man. We gonna see you later. Right, but that was the last time he did that. And he was 16 at the time. Now he's 42. and I still know where he is.
I love it. I love it. And he served too, right? So definitely thank you for his service, man. It's definitely awesome.
Thank you.
So coming up, right? So, I mean, you really are setting the foundation of what, you know, a lot of families, and well, I won't say a lot, but it just seems that environment where you're growing up, playing in the neighborhood, playing outside safely, you know, knowing your neighbors, growing up with your neighbors have changed. But then, I mean, I believe, you know, just kind of how you're setting the base, education was pushed like that as well, you know, so what was it that you wanted to be when you were little, Sheryl, right? What was that I want to be this, right? Because we know you wanted to go to Ohio State and you had to, you know, change for, you know, some family, you know, some family things that came up. But what did you want to be, you know, at first? And then we're going to get into what you became.
Before my father died, there were two things I let him do. The first thing was to pick my senior picture in the yearbook. We had to talk about that one because the picture that he picked was me with a very serious face, not smiling. And I smile. And I didn't like that picture, but my daddy wanted it. So I'm like, okay, let's compromise. Let me put my picture I want in the yearbook, but all the ones we'll order are the ones that you picked. And he was okay with that. And when my dad died, I buried him with that picture in his pocket. The second thing was I asked him, what do you want me to be when I grow up since you're not going to be here? And he wanted me to be a computer science engineer. I didn't like science.
You hit him with the King of the Comedy computer school.
Like, Dad, are you sure? Is there any other options? And his thing was, he doesn't want me to depend on any man to live. And so he wanted me to have a career that would make me the money I need to sustain myself.
Absolutely.
So I didn't go to Ohio State. I went to a school called Northrop University.
Northrop, yes.
And I went there for a year and a half, and I hated every minute of it. And my mom's like, why are you still going if you don't like? I said, because I promised Daddy I would do this. And she goes, he wants you to be happy no matter what you do. So when she said that, I switched reels from computer science engineering to business management. And that's what I went to school for. And that's what kind of catapulted me into what I do today.
That makes sense. Look at you giving us perfect transitions.
So
I mean, want to talk about, in the game, this is we're pivoting into talking about your career, right? And so just looking at, as we prepared and just, knowing you here in the city, you've done every major Las Vegas vertical that we're known for, right? So there is sports, right? You got that earlier sports coming from LA. Well, maybe we'll start there, but you came, sports, which we're now big in, real estate, on all sides of the real estate transaction.
Oh, y'all went deep, huh?
Right. And then, you have the hospitality, whether it's, working front of house, back of house. So definitely hospitality, working with the major hotels here, weddings and events, right? So it's like, you got it all. When you started this kind of work, and one of the early things I saw from your sport background is when the Raiders were actually in LA. That was that that first touch into that sports arena. What was it like, as you grew up, right? You talked about your love for sports and how you were involved. What was it like when the Raiders came here? Were you like, I'm going to work for them? Or was it just like an amazing opportunity? Like, how did that come about?
Interesting story. So I wanted to be a Raiderette. We had the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders and you had the Raiderettes. And I'm like, I want to be a Raiderette. And so they had this, they didn't call it casting call back then, they had tryouts. And they had tryouts usually at the hotels right there by the airport. It was the Sheraton and I think the Marriott one year and another year. So I thought it was cute. I said, I'm gonna try out. I went to the Sheraton, I think it was. I'm looking at the Raiderettes. I got full hair, tease out. I got makeup, which I never wear makeup to this day. I had on, I don't know what the hell I was wearing, and probably way too much makeup. And part of the interview process to be a Raiderette is that you walk into this room and it's all either LA sportscasters, coaches, assistants, some staff, whatever. And you walk in, give them your age, height, weight, name. You stand there, you turn around, and then you walk off stage. And I went in there, didn't feel confident, walked in, walked out, didn't get my number called. I'm like, I'm done. It felt like a cattle call. I will never do this again. Never say never. The next year, my cousin Stacy decided she wanted to try out for the Raiderettes. And I'm like, you go ahead and do that. I'm good. I already did my little whatever. She goes, well, at least come support me. So I said, okay, fine. So my cousin Stacy went down to try out for the Raiderettes. I couldn't find a parking space. So I said, you go ahead and go in. I'll park. I'll meet you back down here. I come back down. I'm walking into the Sheraton. This lady with like blondish gray hair said, "Are you trying out for the Raiderettes?" I'm like, "Nope." She goes, "Well, you should." And she grabbed my hand, took me to the front of the line, gave me a number and a clipboard. He goes, "Now you're trying out."
Wow.
Like, okay. So I was walking back, and toward the end of the line, guess who I see? My cousin Stacy is still in line. She goes, "How did you?" I was like, "I don't know who this woman was, but she told me I need to try out," and she took me to the front of the line. Long story short, my cousin didn't make it to the finals. I did. They picked 100 girls to go to the finals. But what they don't tell you is that the other 42 get to come back and try out for their same spots. So it wasn't me going up against 100 girls for 42 spots. It's me going up to 142 girls for 42 spots. Went to the finals, did make the final cut, but the I wouldn't call him Al Davis's right-hand man, Al Locasal, told me and two other girls, a girl named Babette, and I forgot the other girl's name, but her mom worked for the Raiders. And she said, "The only reason you guys didn't make it is because there weren't enough spaces, enough spots." He offered me a job in the press box. He goes, "Be a press box hostess. You get paid the same money the Raiderettes do." At the time, I think it was $50 a game. Same money they do, but what it is, you get to know all the judges because they're all in the press box. He goes, "Get to know the judges. If you want to try it again, they know you. They will vote for you." I'm like, "Okay, I will do that." So I was in the press box for 2 years. Didn't want to try it ever again because I was having way too much fun in the press box. And then there became a spot that was open to be in the front office working as a receptionist. My boss, she just died this year, Sheryl Nichols. You met her, EJ. You saw us together.
Yeah, I know Cheryl.
Yeah, Cheryl was like, she calls me up. She goes, "We want to offer you a position, but it'll be the only job you'll ever have with the Raiders." He goes, "All you have to do is look good in the morning, and we love your voice saying 'Good morning, Los Angeles Raiders.'" And that was it. I'm like, I'm in. And the money they offered me, I'm good. So that was my career with the Raiders. I was there until right before they moved to Oakland, and I didn't want to move my son to Oakland.
Wow, I love it. Shout out to Sheryl Nichols too.
Shout out to Cheryl
Yeah.
Nichols. Yeah. RIP.
Shout out to Sheryl Nichols.
Yeah.
Definitely a legend there. So,
Yeah,
I mean, we are. Yeah, we the Los Angeles.
Oh, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying she was the reason, because I heard a lot of flack later, but when they had the groundbreaking for the stadium, they had the golden ticket, as they called it. Only certain people were invited to go to the groundbreaking. There were people who worked for the team who couldn't go to the groundbreaking. Sheryl Nichols made sure I was there, and she gave me a VIP ticket. So I love her to this day. I miss her, but she was the reason for my career with the Raiders. Her and Al Locasal.
And she always had time for you. You know what I mean?
She always had time for me. Yep.
I mean, she's busy, but she always had that time, or definitely follow up. So that's awesome story. Go ahead, MH.
No, I was just really commenting on the Los Angeles Raiders, because there's always legendary stories that are still legendary to the Raiders that were founded in Los Angeles. So there's a special place that part of at that time of the organization holds with the organization. So just kind of wanted to hear from your perspective what it was like really being in during that really hate time with the Raiders there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it was great. I will tell you, Al Davis took care of his players and took care of his employees. There was nothing that anybody ever wanted or needed that if Al Davis knew about it, he didn't take care of. That's why there were so many former players on staff, because they may have fallen on hard times or needed to have a career, and Al Davis took care of that. So Al Davis was everything for me. I mean, I remember the one day I was never scared of anything except for Al Davis. And I remember one Saturday, which I never worked on the weekends. There was one Saturday, I was just there answering phones, and in walks Mr. Davis. And I said, "Good morning, Mr. Davis. How are you doing?" He goes, "Mr. Davis is always doing fine." And he went up the stairs to his office. I'm like, it's going to be a long day today. And so maybe a half hour later, he buzzes me down. He goes, "Cheryl, get Jerry Jones on the phone." "Okay, Mr. Davis, I'll get Mr. Jones on the phone for you." I didn't know how the hell to do that. They didn't leave me a manual, a black book, nothing. and you can't tell Al Davis that you don't know how to do something. And I'm like, okay. So I called the Dallas Cowboys. I got the receptionist like me. I'm like, listen, girlfriend.
Girl, yeah.
I need Jerry Jones on the phone. She goes, well, I don't know how to get a hold of Jerry Jones, so we're going to figure that out. And so I'm like, I need him ASAP. I said, Al Davis wants to talk to him. And she goes, okay, let me see what I can do for you. So we hung up. Mr. Davis calls back. Sure, you got Jerry Jones yet? I said, he is on a call. I'll get him as soon as he's done. I'm sweating. Because I'm like, I know if I don't do this, my ass is fired, right? Literally 2 minutes later, the phone rings. She goes, I have Jerry Jones on the phone for you. Like, thank you, Jesus. So I patched it to Mr. Davis, and that was it. I was like, but I'm telling you, that was the only time I've ever been scared of anybody I worked for.
That's crazy. And those are the stories, man. That was a good one.
That's a great story. That's a great story.
Now, I mean, so you started with them, and then you were able to continue that tradition when they, ultimately did the move here to Las Vegas, which is awesome. And you shared the story that, you attempted, you had the chance to attend, the groundbreaking. So that's amazing. But you've been doing some other things outside of that to support the organization. And just really your background, you do so much for the community, right? Like that's you left a meeting right now to do this for us, so we thank you for that.
That's why I'm in the car.
I know. So we appreciate that, scrambling and juggling all the things you do. But just tell us about some of the things. I mean, I guess start with the NFL alumni that you were a part of it, and a lot of people don't understand if they don't have one sports in that city, and even if they have sports, they don't understand that the NFL alumni in each sports city is a big thing. So talk to about your work there and how that kind of came about.
So a friend of mine, her name was Chandra, called me up one day, and she goes, she was working with the NFL alumni in Los Angeles, and they wanted to start a chapter here in Las Vegas. And she's like, the only person I can think of to help do that would be you. All right, cool, I'm in. What do I need to do? She goes, get people together, let them know what we're doing, and see if they want to join the NFL alumni. Now, this is a two-part story because there's some shut the heck. Did I say that? Hold on.
Yeah, go take that pause. And for our audio listeners, the drink matches the outfit. The drink matches the outfit for all of our audio listeners. But okay, go ahead. Continue with your story.
So we had this big meeting at Caesar's Palace. I brought in probably 30, 40 people who want to be a part of the NFL alumni based on them knowing me. Now, before this even happened, before the Raiders even thought about moving to Las Vegas, I was bringing players in for autograph signings and so on. I had an event, my very first big event with the players was with Willie Gault. And I put together a celebrity poker tournament for Willie Gault at the Palm. But fast forward, okay, fine, you want the NFL alumni. I was gung-ho for it. I had a friend of mine at the time, Lyndon King, who he just moved to Vegas, didn't have a whole lot to do. I had a booster club on Fremont. It was at Red Zone, and he was coming down every single game day. Him, Napoleon McCallum, a couple other players would come down and support me. And when the whole thing about the NFL alumni came up, I asked Napoleon if he would be president. He's like, no, I don't have time for that. I said, okay, fine. I'm like, I need somebody who has a lot of time on their hands. So I decided to bring in Lyndon King. He was like, I'm all in for it. I want to do something. I said, okay, great. So I got everybody together. I said, we're going to vote Lyndon King in for president. At the time, I think it was Moreland Greenwood wanted to run for president also. I was like, no, I got the votes. We're going to have Lyndon in as president. So they took the vote. Lyndon won, of course. But they said, well, what we'll do is we'll have whoever comes in first will be president. Whoever comes in second will be vice president. Fair enough. So that was when it first started with Lyndon and Moreland. There was some underhanded stuff that went on later on. That chapter kind of like got dissolved and they brought it back again, and this time Moreland was president. So I really haven't been involved with them since he's been president, but we had a lot of things that we're trying to do. I mean, I jumped in, like, let's do a bowling tournament. Let's do this. Let's bring other players in. And it kind of fizzled. So they were kind of on hiatus for about 2 years. And then I didn't even know that they started up again. And I will tell you what happened. They tried to bring me up on ethics charges. They said I was having events and I was not paying money to the NFL alumni. And I'm like, listen, I was doing this shit before y'all got here.
That part.
Why do I got a resume. Why do I have to pay the NFL alumni because I'm having events? And they said it was unethical. And I'm like, sorry, fuck you. Oh, sorry. Screw you guys. I don't have to be here. And so I bounced. And then they restarted back up. It was so funny because I met the girl who I was, well, a little bit back. So we had Moreland, vice president, Lyndon, president. They had to have a membership coordinator or a director to say, Sheryl, do you want the job? I was like, okay. Go out, we'll vote, and come back in. So when we came back in and he voted, I was the membership director. Okay, fine, got my business cards, which you can't just order. You have to go through NFL to get those, so on and so forth. I had my business cards. And then a couple of years later, I met this lady who had my position now. She goes, oh, no. I work for NFL alumni. I said, no, I started it. She goes, oh, no. This is the first year. I was like, baby, let me tell you. I started this year. Let's be real about it. I had to show her the picture when we first had all our officers inducted. I had to pull out my business card to prove to her that I was actually the membership director. She had no idea. She thought it had just started. Like, nope.
No, we've been there, done that. Shout out to Red Zone, rest in peace. That's the one. That place that was a journey to go down there. I went down to one of them events, boy. It's a journey down there.
We had fun, didn't we? We set the place on fire. But yeah, that was my little booster club.
Shout out to Jessica Pastor who drugged me down there, sis. All right, so you talked about doing the poker event with Willie, and then let's talk about that, right? Like, we're a poker player for several years, so.
Damn, y'all go deep.
So, that's where you kind of got the love after putting that event and being immersed in it. You kind of fell in love with it. Like, how was that playing poker, and being a woman poker player, right? Because I'm sure in some of those rooms you sat in, it was male dominated. So how did you feel about that, going there and busting their ass when you got on that table?
It was scary at first. I got into poker in 2009. This is when you had Full Tilt Poker, Poker Stars. When they came to Vegas for the World Series, they threw parties. So we had Nelly perform at the Palm just for the poker plumes. They had big suites. What is her name? Sarah Silverman. She played there. Jennifer Tilly. There were only a handful of women poker players at the time that actually had made it. There's still people who played. I'm not going to take away from any woman playing poker, but we looking at the face of poker, they had kind of picked and chose who would be, in that spotlight. Annie Duke. These are people who play poker. And so when I was doing Willie's poker tournament, this is back in the days of MySpace. I had to go through and I was like requesting every poker player I could figure out, right? And a few of them like kind of brushed me off. And then a couple of them like, hey, how can I help you? The person who helped me, and I will forever be grateful, was Jennifer Hartman. Wow. And Jennifer Hartman, I explained to her what I was trying to do. She goes, well, let me connect you with my event coordinator. I'm like, we can't afford that. She goes, no. We'll take care of it because I believe in what you're doing. And so she connected me to her coordinator named Lisa. And Lisa helped me put together that Willie Galt event that we did. We had Jonathan Ogden came, Marcus Allen played. It was a lot of fun. We gave away a $10,000 seat to the World Series of Poker, which at the time, I didn't know there were other smaller games you could play, so I didn't have to do a $10,000 seat. But when you do an event, just so you guys know, if you're giving away a prize and you're playing in a casino, you have to make sure that prize or that prize money is in the safe in the casino. They don't play that. If you don't have the money for a $10,000 event, you can't promote it. So we had to put $10,000 in cash in the safe at the Palms to make sure we had the money to give away that $10,000 seat.
What that coach say, bring me my money.
Basically, pay me my money. So that was the first event. It was a learning experience. But I did get into poker. I have to give a huge shout out to the Brunsons. especially Pam Brunson. She brought me into my very first poker tournament,
That's awesome.
and she taught me how to play. And I remember the first tournament she brought me into, I was so nervous. You know how you riffle your chips? I couldn't even riffle my chips. I was knocking my shit over. And she goes, just relax. And she taught me how to bluff. She taught me how to portray my hand as the strongest hand possible, even if it doesn't. And even to this day, I will throw somebody under the bus for a 2-3 offsuit and make them think I got pocket aces, and they fold a hand, all thanks to her. I had a lot of friends that play poker. Some are still here, some are not. But it was the best time of my life back when they had those poker houses, because you actually had fun, and the poker houses paid for it.
Absolutely. And it was that was a big sports thing, right? Like it had kind of maybe the .com bust, right? When you talk about like the full tilt and all the different, but like poker really took over. Online poker, poker games at houses, like that really blew up. You know, poker's still around, but it just it's definitely not like that heyday.
It's so, like man, the Showtime Lakers and the Day Lakers is different.
The poker players ain't the same. They don't make them the same. So, all right, we talked about, you know, just, and we're really kind of getting to somewhere. We're going to take a break in a minute, MH. But one last thing I'm thinking about an event that you, I believe, either helped out with or partnered. But it was tell us about was it all sports reunion event? I don't know if it was just a golf or I want to say the inaugural one was last year. Tell us about that, and is it coming back?
It's coming back. It's going to be in October next year. We're going to do it at Valley High, and the host hotel, I think, is a W right here by Valley High. But Sheila Washington, shout out to my girl. We both grew up in LA. We have pretty much a 40-year history. You know, we both were in sports. We both knew a lot of players. We both enjoy the game. And she has Golfing Queen. So shout out to Golfing Queen. But she came to me with an idea that she wanted to do this all sport reunion, which was bringing in all of her friends, people that she knows and loves, has personal relationships with, for a reunion and playing golf and having a party in the process of it. And last year was our first year of doing it. And we're already in plans for, year number 2. I mean, we had a lot of players that showed up last year. I mean, even Ronald Cunningham came out and played last year because of his relationship with Sheila.
Okay, Pastor Cunningham.
Yeah, he played. I mean, I don't see him on a lot of golf courses, but he supported Sheila.
That's what's up.
Yeah, but that's great. And it's all about bringing together sports players, executives, and having a good time on the golf course.
And I think that's awesome, right? Like with the sports queen, kind of like looking into her, she actually does clinics for, getting women into golf, right? And just showing them lessons and letting them feel comfortable. So that's great that you two powerhouses got together and did something awesome. And I'm really happy to see that it's coming back. And the other thing I want to shout out is the fact that you partnered the executive part of it, right? Because, a lot of times you do just celebrities and you miss like some of these either athletes that have gone on to the business world or just the current, executives here in town or other places that just want to be around those and build business, because a lot of athletes have to figure out their next step after. So kudos to you both and excited to hear that that's good going. All right, just for a second time. Absolutely. MH, man, you ready for the sudden change?
Yes, sir. So Sheryl, this is just random yes or no, do or don't type questions.
Oh, damn.
I
got a question before we get started. Why is it you guys have initials and I don't? I got EJ, you got MH. How about SB?
SB. We can take it. Sudden changes. That's the name.
Just like that.
Are we texting or are you talking on the phone?
Who, EJ?
No, you SB.
SB. No, I'm good. I do that on everything. Usually they'll even give you like 2 initials. So I've been SB for a while, but I like the fact that you got EJ, you got MH. Let's do that.
So on the first question here. So on your phone, would you rather text or are you talking on the phone? Which one would you rather do?
Text.
Okay. What's your favorite day of the week?
Hump day, Wednesday.
Okay. Pancakes or waffles?
Oh, hands down, pancakes. With extra butter.
With extra butter. Okay. Yes, ma'am. A nickname, childhood that you feel comfortable with sharing that you used to be called. Childhood nickname.
Moo.
Okay. Scale of 1 to 10. How good of a driver are you?
Oh, I got 100 on my driver's test. I'm good.
I don't mean you good.
Okay, put it this way. I haven't had any accidents or tickets in the last 10 years. How's that?
That's about a 7. That's about
Okay.
a 7. I got you. Places that you would most want to travel to that you haven't been.
Greece and Puerto Rico.
I love it. Favorite junk food?
Chocolate chip cookies.
I gotta, we dabbled into this question earlier. iPhone or Android, and that.
Okay, you went there with that one.
Yeah.
Android all day. Yeah. Android.
All right, well, for the listeners, there were some issues with portrait and landscape and all those.
Oh, there were no issues.
There was no issues.
Let's not put that out there. Can we keep it to the questions on the sheet, sir?
Yeah, we got 2 more. We got 2 more questions. My apologies. Favorite childhood TV show?
The Brady Bunch.
Okay. Marsha. Last Halloween costume.
Oh, I was a sexy devil.
Okay.
I like it. All right, I got one.
Yeah.
I'll throw in one on the. So, Thanksgiving, outside of turkey, who is the star of Thanksgiving? What dish, right? So you got turkey, and you got all
EJ, you already know. What do I bring to the Thanksgiving every year? You already know.
I just want you to say it for the people, though.
Because so get some background story. We have a mutual friend that has a Friendsgiving on Thanksgiving, and we usually watch football. One particular year was Raiders and the Cowboys, which is great. But I make the bomb ass mac and cheese.
No,
I do. They tell me if I don't bring mac and cheese, I can't come to the party.
So ask the questions, MH. We do a show on this, so this is why I had to bring that up. So go ahead, MH, ask the question.
No, I'm listening. I'm just listening. I'm tuning into the rest of the story.
No, that's it. It's like everybody brings different things, and they'll tell you, or they'll ask you, okay, you're coming. They supply the brisket, the turkey. We just bring the fixins. And somebody had said, "Oh, I'll bring mac and cheese." He goes, "Oh no, only Sheryl can bring mac and cheese to the party."
Okay.
And so I was told if I can't bring mac and cheese every year, I can't come.
Well, you don't have to get into all your secrets right here because we're not going to do that. But just tell me what's kind of the process? How are you starting this mac and cheese? What's the process there?
I make my mac and cheese with a roux. I do a cheese roux.
Okay.
So every bite is cheesy. There is no gaps. There is no dry macaroni, whatever. You bite into it. You bite into some ooey gooey cheese, right, EJ?
That is. Yeah, a roux for the mac and cheese. And then that's not even talking. Now, I've never gotten invited for her New Year's gumbo, but that's a whole nother story. But that just lets you know where she at, where she doing a roux for the mac and cheese.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Your food got holidays attached to it, so I know it's good.
Yeah.
They put whole holidays attached to it. Okay, I got you.
All right. Hey, that was sudden change, man. So let's get back into the flow. All right. So this is the winner's circle, right? This is where, we really want to highlight, I think we've done a good job or we're getting a sense, but this is really puts like that target on it and, underlines it. So in the winner's circle, there was a few things that you wanted to talk about when we reached out. So let's talk first about your company. We've talked about all the elaborate and amazing events, or we touched on, I shouldn't say we talked about all, because there's so many that you do. But tell us about how DeSquared LV started, right? Like why you wanted to start that company, and then what the genesis was.
Okay. So 2009, I was going through a really ugly divorce. I went from having a home where he gave me everything, but I felt he was trying to be controlling. And we fought all the time, not physically, but just we're always arguing. And I get to a point one morning, I woke up and the sun was coming up, the birds were singing, and then I heard this like scratches on the chalkboard. He just started fussing about something. I just packed up a bag, grabbed my son, grabbed my dog, and I left. And people are like, you left? Yeah, I left a 4,000 square foot house, 2 cars paid for, beautiful backyard, pool. But unless you're happy, it don't mean shit. Moved home to my mom with a 2-bedroom apartment, me, my son, and my dog. And she's like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with your life? And I didn't know. I was kind of stuck. I didn't know what to do. And my mom said, you know what? Do whatever makes you happy. What do you do that makes you happy? I'm like, party, throwing parties. That's what I do. She goes, that's your business. And that's when I created DeSquared LV. And my son, at the time, he was 10 years old. He helped me create my logo. And so he goes, Mom, you like Cosmopolitan, you like martini. So he drew me out. I still have the original picture he drew. He drew a martini glass, and the shade went from blue to pink. And the olive had a toothpick, and the toothpick had D, lowercase e, and a square. So DE squared. And it was created by me and my son. And what it did was we put together events for retired athletes. We through parties, we actually helped different concierges, because I didn't know at the time that you get paid when a concierge gets a high level athlete that comes into and spends money. Nobody told me that part. So they was making this money off of me, and I'm like showing up at a club and giving me bottle service. And I'm like, I could have got money with this too. So I cut all that shit out and I started doing it myself. So that's how DE Squared was brought into play. I have been doing celebrity golf tournaments since 2011. It was so funny, nobody knows the story. Andre Reed, friend of mine, played for the Buffalo Bills. He had his tournament every year up at Lehigh. And so I saw it on MySpace. And I'm like, hey, Dre, what's going on with this? He goes, well, you want to come out? And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to come out. So he flew me out to, I want to say Buffalo to Pittsburgh for this event. I was able to help out. I forgot his assistant. I think her name was Lisa also, but they kind of showed me the game on how to put together a celebrity golf tournament. And that's where the whole thing started.
That's awesome. And you took it from there. Go ahead, MH.
No, and kind of want to get to the, I guess, working with former athletes or alumni, or they definitely have a standard, right? And obviously they're gonna repeat if the standard is met, and then I guess the pressure that comes with that, or if you don't even feel pressure with it, just kind of the mindset and the process of putting together marquee events for athletes that are still have that framework, right? They might not play anymore, but they still have that, kind of commitment to excellence, so to speak. So what's your mindset going into those things and framework?
I learned a lot by working with certain athletes. And I've learned that you can't, for the most part, be friends and work with them, because I will tell you, there's this one NBA player, but I'm going to say his name. Unless you live in California, you're not going to recognize his name, but he thinks he's all that. I put together a celebrity golf tournament for him. I went to Caesars Entertainment, ended up meeting with these 2 casino hosts over at Planet Hollywood. And I told them, I gave them my proposal. Hey, we want this. I want this, this, and this, and this. Not thinking they would give it to me. And they said, okay, fine. Went down for a meeting with them. He goes, I tell you what, everything you want in your proposal, we'll give you. Keep in mind, my proposal, I put in, I wanted free rooms I wanted 40 free rooms at Planet Hollywood. I wanted my players to have free meals. I wanted transportation to and from the golf course. I mean, I asked for everything. You throw enough shit against the wall to stick. And I'm waiting for them to come back and negotiate. And they told me, if you can give us at least 2 athletes off of this list, we'll give you everything. Like, okay, who are the athletes? There were a lot who I knew, but they wanted Bo Jackson. And I'm like, okay, let me work on that one. I said, so if I get you Bo Jackson, you guys will comp everything. Absolutely. Made a few phone calls, made sure his schedule was clear. I brought in Bo Jackson for this golf tournament.
Let's go. Bo knows golf.
Bo knows golf. So, and I haven't really told anybody this story, but I'm telling y'all because I'm feeling it right now. My pink drink is working. So bring in Bo. The person who I threw the golf tournament for, I couldn't get any sponsors for. Not a single one. But I had planned I don't just plan a golf, I plan an event. I plan a weekend. And so I put together a comedy show. At the time, it was called the Performing Arts Theater at Planet Hollywood. We had a pairing party inside, I think it was called the Marquee at the time, the nightclub there. We had everything going. I had a bill that, first of all, this athlete didn't want to sign my contract because he wanted to be on the hook if it didn't go well. I'm like, screw it. Okay, fine. You don't want to sign my contract. What we're going to do is I'm going to throw the event and just use your name. And then when everything is done, I'll make a donation to your foundation. He said, okay, fair enough. So fast forward, I'm about maybe 2 weeks out. I have no money whatsoever. I brought in Joe Torre, George Wilburn, Gannon Green, and about 3 other athletes. And then I had a DJ Twin out of LA be my DJ. I have signed contracts with these people to make sure they perform. I got to pay deposits. He ain't got no money. All he wants to do is give away tickets to his friends to come out and play golf at, wait for this, we were golfing at Red Rock Country Club, so it wasn't cheap.
Oh,
I'm on the phone one day talking to a friend of mine who was an oncologist in Fort Myers, Florida. And he like, Sheryl, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm in tears now because I'm like, I don't want to fail at this. This is my first big tournament. I got Caesars to Entertainment on board. I got to pay for plane tickets. The only person who wanted a first class ticket was Bo because Bo had his hip. I'm like, I got to pay for his ticket. He goes, well, how much money do you need? I said, a whole lot. He goes, what's a whole lot? I'm like, I need about $65,000.
God dang.
You know what he told me? What's your wiring instructions? What?
That's what's
now,
up.
keep in mind, I have never met this person. We have talked on the phone. We had a mutual friend. We have never, ever met, but he's followed everything I do. He goes, everything you've done has been amazing. He goes, all you need is money. I'm like, that's pretty much it. You know, the next morning I had $70,000 in my bank account. I'm like, that's nothing but God right there. So I was able to make deposits to people. I took care of everything I was supposed to. But because it was so close, I wasn't able to do the promotion that I wanted.
Right.
I got this big ass theater and I got maybe 40 people in the building.
Oh, dang.
But I will tell you this. According to what they told me at Planet Hollywood, it was the best comedy show that they've ever had in that space. It was an all-black comedy show. So I'm taking credit for having the first all-black comedy show on the Strip.
There you go.
And they told me it was so good. Don't worry about the balance.
Oh, let's go. That's
and I was
awesome.
like, are you serious? He goes, yeah. He goes, we saw everything you went through. You went through everything. And that's why Joe Torre and I are friends to this day, because I paid everything what I promised. I didn't ask for discounts. I didn't negotiate because of what I paid everybody. And that's why they respect me to this day. And that's why I don't care what I do. Joe Torre always show up. He's going to be at this golf tournament. But yeah. And then at the end, I think I had a little balance for some other things. So my friend's like, well, how much more do you owe? No, he said, how much did you make? I said, nothing. He goes, well, how much would you have made if you had it's been successful? I said, probably about 20 grand. You know, he sent me 30 grand to pay off my balances and told me to keep 20. Boy. And then, wait, here's the kicker. Then this athlete, who I'm still gonna say his name, told me, oh, well, you didn't give any money to my foundation.
Yeah, you better kick rocks.
That's what I told him. He tried to badmouth you to other players, and players like, oh, we saw what you went through, but he's trying to badmouth you. So that's why I wouldn't even give him the dignity of saying his name, because he ain't worth shit to me.
There it is. And I mean, there's so much that we can dissect into that, man. I mean, I hope the listeners get the adversity and just following through. Hell, that could have been a shoot your shot moment itself,
sure.
right? Well, on a positive note, let's switch it to like that was a part of your journey that made why what you do with Ickey's event so successful now. Because you've been with him for several years when it was just maybe just the foundation part, but now it's like his golf event. So I'm not going to just call it a golf outing. It's an event.
It's an event.
So go ahead and tell the people about that and why they need to attend. And we'll probably talk offline so how we can promote it, just to make sure we can get the people out there. But please, and shout out to Ickey, man. He was so great. You were at the event. You had him come over and say hi. I don't know where we were at, but shout out to him. But please tell about this event that's coming up and why we need our listeners to go.
So this is the 5th annual Ickey Woods Fairways for Airways Celebrity Golf Tournament. I've been working with Ickey since 2019. We've been the 7th year. We lost 2 years to COVID. But the foundation is the Jovante Woods Foundation. And it's basically a homage to his son, Jovante, who passed away to an asthma attack when he was 16 years old. That was little Ickey. And I'm not going to go into the complete story of what happened to him, but he had an asthma attack, and the inhaler couldn't work because his lungs were already clogged. They couldn't get any air into them. So with you not being able to get air into your lungs, the medication doesn't work. He went into a coma. He ended up succumbing to the asthma attack. However, he was an organ donor. At 16 years old, on his permit, he saw he wanted to be an organ donor. So he ended up saving 4 lives with his organs and countless people with the tissue that he donated. And so Ickey tries to, his thing is to make sure that no one else, no other parents, have to go through what he did. You want to make sure they have the right medication, see the right doctors. We do asthma screening and asthma awareness days. So student athletes come in and get tested. And the thing about living in Vegas, there's so many different allergies here. They can't really decipher if they have an allergy or if they have asthma. And because of our government, everybody doesn't have insurance. So there's no way to find out. So we're a huge proponent for asthma screenings. We do free asthma screenings for student athletes. And we're working on supplying them with free medication. And what we're also doing is, my kids are grown. I don't remember how much it costs to get a sports physical, then, but now I hear it's pretty expensive. So we're trying to, as part of our mission, is to be able to donate X amount of sports physicals per year. And with those sport physicals include an asthma screening. So what we do, I don't do anything small. We created the Ickey Woods Fairways for Airways Celebrity Golf Weekend. And our weekend includes a cigar party, which we have cigars, cocktails, and conversations. You come out and you meet all the celebrity captains, and there's no red ropes and whatever to separate from them. You guys are all in this together. We smoking cigars. We're having a couple of cocktails, having a good time. That's your time to intermingle with our celebrity captains. Then we have our pairing party, which is when you get to meet the teams, meet their captains, you get paired up. This year, we gave it a Harlem Nights theme. I want you to come dressed. We're in Lake Las Vegas. Come dressed. Show me what you got. Don't come in here with some, khakis and a button-down shirt. You will not get in. I don't care if you're about to take it or not. I want you to come either cocktail attire or come themed for Harlem Nights. And then on Monday is our celebrity golf tournament. So from April 11th to the 13th, we partying in Lake Las Vegas and raising money for the Jovante Woods Foundation.
Let's go. That's amazing. And it's dope. And just for our listeners that don't know, Ickey did play at UNLV. So
yes,
there is that attachment to Las Vegas. So it's amazing because, being, an amazing running back in the NFL for Cincinnati, he still shows love to us. So it's amazing that he has this event here.
Yes, it is. And he comes back and he supports. And people think because you leave or whatever. No, Ickey's actually looking for a home here in Las Vegas. I don't know. I can talk. Well, I can. He lets me talk about anything. He just lost a daughter a few months ago. So he's lost 2 children, and he's still pushing for this asthma awareness and education and research. Mayor Berkeley, I love our mayor to the core. I set up a meeting with her so she could meet Ickey, and she was all on board. She loved to think about the organ donation and helping with sports physicals, and she's offered so much assistance and help. I don't think Vegas could have had a better mayor. So I love Miss Shelley Berkeley. I love her.
Yes. Shout out to Miss Berkeley, boy, because she's on a whole nother level. And
Oh,
she's
yes,
out
she
there
is.
making it happen, man.
Mhm.
So, in the interest of time, too, as well, man, I do want to talk about some of the community things, and I don't want to skirt past them, but I do want to talk about 100 Black women, that you're involved in, NAWBO on the business side, like all these things. What is it about being connected or tied to these organizations drive you, or why do you think those are important?
It keeps you grounded. It keeps you grounded, and it's all about helping others. People always say about women, okay, we support each other. Sometimes they don't. Let's be real about it. They don't. It's always a competition. But with NAWBO, which is where I am right now, National Association of Women Business Owners, with the National Coalition of 100 Black Women that I'm part of, and National Action Network, they're all about giving back to community. And it's not just talking about it, they are about it. They actually do the work. And that's why I chose to be involved with those. It wasn't a matter of, okay, we want you here, want you there. If you don't feel it, there have been places that I was asked to join. I'm like, y'all, that don't feel right to me. Something about my spirits are telling me not to walk away from this. But those 3 organizations, I can see the work. I can see the people trying. There is no competition. They actually want to better each other. They actually pick each other up. When one person's down, we got somebody else to cover you. And that was really important to me, to be a part of any organizations, to see what they do, how they do it, and how they show up.
Love that. Oh, amazing.
Can
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. I just had one about. I mean, obviously, you experienced the Super Bowl here in Las Vegas, and just kind of your experience with that, and some things that you did with. I see some things that you did there, but just talk a little bit about that Super Bowl.
Super Bowl in any city is amazing. I mean, it's electric. I mean, if you don't go, it's like when you look at baseball, you don't watch baseball all year long, but what do? You watch the World Series. You don't do anything with basketball all year long. You didn't have your own team, but you're going to watch the championship series. When it comes to football, same thing. But see, I go for the events. It's like, I don't care about going to Super Bowl. Super Bowl will liven up any city, but you look at the events that come with it. People don't believe Super Bowl starts on the Thursday before. You got NFL honors on Thursday, and then you got the granddaddy of them all, the Dicka cigar party. I mean, if you don't go to Dicka cigar party, you ain't nothing. So that's what you do. And then you have the retired players party. I mean, and then you have the fanatics party. So to me, Super Bowl is all about partying. And yes, I will be in LA for Super Bowl.
There you go. Back to full circle. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, I will be in LA. I didn't go to Santa Clara this year because it just, you know what? I don't know a lot about Santa Clara, but I do know how they party in LA. And plus, I don't have to pay for a hotel. I still have family in LA, so I got a place to stay. But I have a lot of friends who are putting together events. Shout out to Greg Bell. He has an art exhibit every year. Greg Bell played for the Raiders and the Rams, and was on the Olympic team with Willie Gault. And Ron Brown. Don't let me forget him, because I don't want him to get mad at me later. But you forget, you're looking at when Al Davis built a team, it wasn't even about, can you do that? It was, how fast are you? They built that team on speed. And I promise you, in the 80s and the 90s, we had the fastest teams. You got Willie Gault. You got oh God, what is his name? He was on the bobsled team. He's on fire. I can't think of his name right now. He's gonna kill me. But you had him. Then you had Ron Brown, who held the Olympic record for I don't know how many years. But Ron Brown was on the 440 relay, and his team held the Olympic record. It was just, there was so much going into is not just being an athlete, but being a human and giving back. So to this day, I love Ron Brown. I talk to Ron Brown probably 3-4 times a month. That's my guy. Willie Gault, I love him beyond words. He's like my brother. I have a friend, Felix Giles. He was the first Black truck series NASCAR driver. He's at all of my events. So no matter what I do, the minute I post, he's like, "Sis, what do you need me to do? How can I help?" It's all about relationships, and people can't fake that shit. I'm sorry. It's like either you there and you do it or you don't. But I've had people come at me like, "Oh, you're trying to do this and you're trying to do that." Like, no, I got a 40-year history with these people, so don't try to tell me nothing.
That's it. Those are gems. I mean, relationships and the work you put in and just how people show up for you. That means it shows a lot. That definitely does. All right. So, coming to the close, we have this section or session where we call the assist, or, where you kind of put your coaching hat on and you drop a coaching gem. And I want to be, in the honor, if you could tailor this to women,
Okay.
or if it's an overall thing. Especially, women that are getting into business, that work in the business. But what is a quote that you live by, or maybe words that you would tell your younger self, or something that you would say to promote or push someone to take that step? What is kind of like either a quote that you live by or words of wisdom?
Don't accept no. That's plain and simple. Don't accept no. When one person wants, somebody else will. So I don't believe in, there are some times when people look at like, okay, I went to this person, that person said, no, I can't do it. And you give up. And all you're doing is making way for somebody else because you're not doing it. So whether one person says no or not, there's always going to be somebody who's going to say yes. So keep trying, keep knocking on those doors, keep making those phone calls, because nothing is ever bleak and nothing is ever dark. You just have to have the tenacity to go after it and get it. And
get it.
If you can't go get it, it's not for you.
There you go. All right, and just for our audio listeners, we're going to put this in the show notes, but tell them where they can reach you. Give us your social media handles that you want people to reach out to you at.
Okay, so my main social media handle for almost everything is my name, Sheryl, SHERYL, my initial B for my last name, and then NLV, like I live in Las Vegas, so Sheryl B NLV. That's the one. Then you can always look up DeSquared LV. Make sure you use the LV because there's another DeSquared out there, the t-shirt company. That's not me. I'm the event planner. And also my other company is Weddings to You Events and Decor. So I do weddings, I do proposals, I do birthday parties, I do bachelorette parties, I do divorce parties, you name it, I decorate for it. I'm also a licensed wedding officiant. So if you need to get married on the fly, call your girl. I can give out my business number, which is 725-275-5683. I do answer that phone during business hours. Text me if it's after business hours. If I'm up, I just might respond again because I like money.
And like we said in the intro, life of the party. And if you had the party, she probably planned it. MH, man, please give us, man, those final thoughts.
No, this has been great, man. I really appreciate your time and hanging out with us on a late tonight. And, congratulations for all the great work that you've done. Congratulations for all the great work that you're going to do. It was really cool. Learned a lot in this short time. Think we could have this conversation 3 more hours, to be really honest with you. It's just been really good hearing from you. So really appreciate you.
It was a pleasure, you guys. I mean, I was kind of nervous at first. I'm like, because I know how deep EJ goes, but you went deep with the whole poker thing. I didn't think he was going to pull that one up, but that was cool. I see you. But no, you guys are amazing. Thank you for having me. If you need me for anything else, hey, I'm here. You got any parties going on? I'm your party planner. Let me know.
There it is. And it's reciprocal. So please let us know, this is a platform. So we'd love to have you on. We're glad we could share just a breath of some of the things you do. So wanted to give you your flowers. So thank you for your time. And, we're going to kind of move forward. So thank you for our guests for popping on and sharing that, man. Please make sure you connect. We'll put all of that contact information in the show notes. And just kind of remember, we want to thank her, but we want to thank you for listening. It's you all that make this happen. It's you all that vote. It's you all that help us get the awards that we get. So I want to thank you. And just remember, we drop a new show every Thursday. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to our YouTube channel because visual representation matters. If you can see it, you can be it. And as we always say, please stay safe, practice gratitude, and know we're rooting for you.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yo. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap.